Hi, I am Pr0tal, and this is Hypogea. It's a neat little indie game that released October of last year. I'm going to be running all chapters, which means we have to go to each area to activate some things. We'll go more into depth later. I'm joined by my commentators.
Hi, I'm Gelly. I did a lot of the routing and running for demo, and I am here to also give a lot of the technical explanations about the all chapters run. Bobby?
Hello, everyone. My name is BobbyBurm. I love this game. I have played it casually. I have not done the speedrun myself, but I have learned much about it through Pr0tal. This is one of the most technical runs that you'll see. So we're going to go ahead and get kicked off here.
Yeah.
Alrighty, time is going to start in 3, 2, 1, go.
So as we make it through this tutorial section and Pr0tal picks up his various move sets, there's two things that I have to explain very quickly here. First of all, he's going to have access to this pole or cane that allows him the ability to pole vault and roll out and so on and so forth. An ability that we have is that during a rollout, you can initiate a pole vault, which is definitely not intended. And by coming out of that rollout with a large jump, you can actually jump out of that invisible pole vault, giving us a double jump. So you'll see often that if he's jumping mid-air, either to get additional height or additional distance, that's the tech that's being employed. So for example, immediately coming off of this ledge here, this double jump is a pole vault mid-air. The second thing is that during this tutorial, we have a slowdown. So he's pausing in the middle of the slowdown, and he just keeps going. Gravity is not accounted for, but his momentum is, and that's the end of the tutorial.
Very nice.
So from here, we're going to go through a little bit of the introductory parts of the game here. So first, we're going to meet our companion here. Hi, nameless companion.
Wave hello.
Not obligated, but you may. And then from here, we're going to make our way through the rest of Act 1 here. So you can see the various movement options that he has access to. So for example, right before he hits ground, in order to make sure that he doesn't have any hard falls, he's doing a bunch of rollouts. He's doing a bunch of double jumps in order to avoid ledge grabs, but here he must do a ledge grab first by getting additional height using his cane, especially if he's going to be making this long distance jump here in order to make a very large long jump, very nice. But if he's able to get additional height on top of that, and he's able to get quite high on the ledge comparatively, he can use his hands to get a shorter in time ledge grab. From here, you can see him employing double jumps to get additional distance out of all of this, because again, these are imaginary pole vaults, but here you can see a very tight double jump.
Nice.
Perfect. Very good, very good. And yeah, so we've collected our first battery. The second one, worst possible RNG. Boom. So, Bobby, what's the deal with that tripod?
Yeah, so we're waiting for this lad to walk across this pipe here because we're looking for batteries, as Gelly kind of hinted at before. So batteries are kind of our collectible across the game. They're more or less our way to say, hey, we need to insert this into X location in order to unlock said thing. So they're the main collectible that we're going to be getting across here. This is the slowest animation that you could probably get in this area. He'll give us one of our batteries. We need 4 batteries scattered across this tutorial island, and we'll be heading back over to drop them off here in a moment.
To see a very good example of a regular pole vault, here he's going to make very good, a very long pole vault across there. That's probably one of the last possible frames that you can make that pole vault work in order to get that ledge grab there. And as he's making his way back, you may note that he's going to be utilizing the rollouts in order to maintain momentum in a sort of bunny hop fashion. He's playing at 120 FPS, both to reduce friction and also these rollouts to reduce friction as he makes his way back to this elevator, putting in the 4 batteries that we have collected for the first half of Chapter 1 here. So we're, again, encountering our companion, putting in these batteries, and on the second half of Chapter 1, we need to wait for our companion to open a door, and then we're going to have them be trapped. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Instead, it is far more efficient and pragmatic for us to instead clip out of bounds using a ledge grab. So very good first try.
Nice. If the game wasn't broken before, it's about to be.
So what's happening there is the game is a little bit too generous with its capabilities when it comes to mantling or ledge grabbing, dependent highly on your camera angle, your character's angle, whether or not you're jumping. When you initiate the ledge grab, you can get a varying many results in terms of the ledge grips that you get there. That elevator there has a very nice ledge for what we're working with. Over here we have this door that we're going to, which is very particular. Shout outs to Nozu, who I have mentioned before, for finding this clip here. Very good, the Nozu door.
Nice.
And then that allows us to skip the latter half of Chapter 1 into Chapter 2. So normally Chapter 2 is a triple battery hunt where there's 3 batteries to collect. Instead, we're just going to be collecting the 1. Normally this cart is what allows us to get access past an invisible wall that exists here, but there's a very, very tight double jump that we can employ here. Something to note is that if you're initiating a rollout on an upward slope, you get additional height out of the jump that comes out of it. So he has to be going up a slope here with a double jump. Very good, very good. Yes, first try there.
Very nice.
So that makes it past Chapter 2 and into Chapter 3. We'll be back. Chapter 2 essentially acts as a hub world, but in Chapter 3, it's a there and back sort of situation, right? We're going to be collecting 3 batteries, unlocking a mechanic, going to this central power puzzle, which I'll let Bobby explain later, and then coming back. However, the level design is a little too cute, and it has the exit right near the entrance, and since we have the capabilities of double jumps and so on and so forth, we're going to employ that as much as possible here. So Pr0tal, instead of going to the left, which we are intended to go to, he's going to go to the right, utilize this collision, which is definitely not meant to be jumped on here. And this chain is going to give us far more momentum than we're really supposed to. And we have the exit there. Very good, very good. And so he's going to beeline his way over to this power sculpture over here. Bobby, what are those?
Yeah, the power sculptures in these power rooms. There are one of them in each of the disparate chapters in the game. And so the main purpose behind going to this chapters, for all intents and purposes, is to hit these power rooms to power up the area in our main hub. So we have 4 of these for the chapters that we're going to be hitting here. And we're going to be lighting them up. Very nice. So we're going to be, in all these chapters, the main goal is to hit that power and kind of get in, get out, as long as we get that checked and powered up.
It'll be necessary to collect 4 of those, and any percent you're allowed to skip past the door that employs that, but for all chapters, we demand that that door must be opened normally. Now, on the way out of here, Pr0tal picked up a battery, and now he's leaving. What's the deal with that? As it turns out, batteries are cumulative. They are a collectible that you can take with you past various chapters, which doesn't really make sense for a casual playthrough, but we're employing them very heavily in order to skip batteries that are far out of the way for a lot of the chapters here, such as the cart that's going to be entering Chapter 4 here. So, on our way back here, Pr0tal's going to be collecting another battery, so this is a decent amount of walking time. So, VexxnBexxn, can we get a quick donation?
Oh, I have a donation for you. $75 from Charlie.
Yeah.
Great. It's amazing to see my little game being run at SGDQ. Thanks, Pr0tal, Gelly, and BobbyBurm sorry for the tripod RNG. Otherwise.
Yes, thank you so much. That was very quick.
That was really quick.
That's incredibly difficult. He just blitzed through that there in order to clip through the floor there. To give context, Charlie Wagner is the wonderful developer of this game who has dealt with us, perhaps, and been more patient than I would expect him to. There are many times that we've come to him and said, hey, there's a strange soft lock here. This is kind of, it is what it is. But he was always on top of it, very ready to fix things. And in fact, we're running on the speed runnable patch because he patched out the double jumping for casual gaming, but was very kind to let us in particular have this. So again, many shout outs to a dev who is very cooperative.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Yeah. But now we're currently on our way into Chapter 4 here. We can use this double jump employed to collect a singular battery, just sort of incrementally, and that puts us actually up to 4, which is probably far beyond what we're supposed to have. And we're entering Chapter 4 here. Something to note is that our companion is supposed to be with us on a lot of these trips, except for this one, which is why this cart trip is like 20 to 30 seconds.
So sad.
VexxnBexxn, another donation.
Absolutely. $30 from Hobbit, donating $10 for each of my deaths during my All Bosses Unrestricted Metroid Dread run. I hope everyone enjoyed the run. It was such a special experience. Remember, walls are suggestions, which feels relevant here.
Yeah, a little.
Absolutely.
Another donation would be excellent. Thank you.
Absolutely. We've got from Le Million, let's hit that 1 million.
It's true.
Keep getting those.
We're so close. We're so close to 1 million. We have a little over, what is it? A little over $8,000 to go. So we can hit it. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. So here, this is definitely unintended. Normally, you're intended to go through a sort of a scripted section where you're supposed to pick up a moth and so on and so forth. Instead, we're taking a back path through a collectible here. That was a very tight ledge grab, very well done, but we're not quite there yet. We're going to use a double jump to get on top of this ledge. Nice. Very nice. As you can see, if you fall into that out of bounds, you're not coming back. So he very gracefully navigates past that. Again, the structure of this level is that you're intended to collect a moth, go to a hub, go out to collect another moth, go back to a hub. Moths being power sources, batteries light in a sense. But instead, we're just going to beeline it to the second moth to collect over here, and we're going to do something a little bit special in order to collect the third moth over here. Once we've collected this first moth, we have access to these collision sections over here, and another mechanic that's been introduced is these hex comb walls that allow us to do wall jumps to climb up here, which are maybe a little bit too generous in terms of what we were able to do. There was an intention, and we kind of skipped past it. Of course, with the collision that's been introduced with the moth, there's a slide that we're supposed to make it past. Instead, we're going to double jump past it. Oh,
there we go.
Yeah,
nice,
easy.
nice.
No difficulty there. And we're going to take our way backwards through the path that we were sort of intended to go on, and instead use this chain to cross this river that's intended to do exactly what we're skipping here. Very nice, very nice. We're not quite there yet, though, because we haven't hit a checkpoint, because if he hits water, it's going to be a reset.
Water no good. Water no good.
Oh,
okay, good.
No, it's
Fantastic.
fine. It's fine. He's done it. He's done it. So,
one thing I can add here is that Pr0tal's making this feel very fluid and very dynamic and everything, but all of these movements are microscopically planned. Like, I mean it in a very literal sense. Like, each jump and each roll is required to, cancel like a hard fall or, ledge grab in just the right spot. So this is a very, very precise set of movements that we're seeing right here.
Shout outs to Osmorn, who I was talking to when doing this game casually. He said it's very rewarding when you get things right and very punishing when you get things wrong. So, like, as a casual gamer, you can get close to this, but Pr0tal's just absolutely blitzing here on the way back to the HUD here. And so he's going to make it back to this hub here. He's got 2 moths. There's one last scripted moth that he's going to need here. Fortunately, the game is very kind in what it considers collecting that third moth, so we're going to pull this lever here, and there she blows. Comes in right blowing through here.
Yay!
So that gets us our third moth, and that'll be our power sculpture here. So again, sort of in the lore of this game, this is a post-apocalyptic world where we are robots that were intended as war machines and have been left derelict after the main effort. So, we're trying to navigate our way to collecting those 4 power sources to get an elevator to touch grass. So, as we make our way back to the main hub here, I think would be an excellent time for a quick donation, VexxnBexxn.
Perfect. We've got $25 from Equinox, who says, greetings from Malta. Always a pleasure to be roped into new games to run by you guys. Shout out to the Hypogea Discord, who I'm watching this run with at the moment.
Oh, wow.
3 a.m. hype.
Hello, everyone.
Many shout outs to Equinox. We will be seeing in Chapter 6, he developed pretty much on his own a major skip that's going to go off with no hitches. So we're not going to blame Equinox for anything whatsoever. But in any case, we're making our way back from Chapter 4 here and making our way down to this quite long scripted cutscene. You know what? Another quick donation would be excellent. Thank you.
Absolutely. I got you. No worries. We've got $5 from Zuzu, who says, something Pr0tal, something donation, something speed running, something carrots.
True.
That is that is a 3 a.m. donation for games like quick. I love that.
Perfect 3 a.m. donation.
Yes, exactly. It's ideal.
No in between.
Perfect.
Sorry.
Thank you, Zoo.
Another quick donation would be excellent. Thank you.
We have $25 from King Wrangles, who says, did you know meticulous pumpernickel is just thoroughbred? Gotta bring in a pun. Yeah.
Very good.
3 a.m. puns. Here we go.
Yeah, more puns if you could. Just lay it on us. Any time whatsoever. On our way out here, though, we're going to be going to Chapter 5. We're collecting our last battery, which is of important note because we're skipping a battery that's behind Pr0tal here. That's a decent distance away. We've done our battery management right on collecting and through the hub here. So we're making our way to Chapter 5. This cart is going quickly. We do not have our companion with us. Don't worry. Give it a little bit of time through this level transition here. So hopping out of the car here and activating this transition. Chapter 5 is structured
very technical.
Very, very technical because it is structured sort of inversely. We access the power structure first, and then we have to climb our way back up. And as much as we're able to skip quite a few things by clipping out of bounds and going down, it is far harder to go up. So Pr0tal is going to have to do everything in his power to do this intended. And we're starting here
a doozy
with a doozy of a skip. an absolute wham jangler here. He's going to be clipping out of bounds. Is that a word? I sure hope so. He's going to be clipping out of bounds here. This is predetermined, and if he can make it, first try! Oh my God.
That's unironically so hard.
Yeah, so this pipe is not intended to be clipped on in any way whatsoever. The way Pr0tal describes it is that he has steps planned out in order to get that double jump, like a certain amount of momentum and double jumps, and a lot of the time it doesn't work, but this time we got first try, so we're on a good pace here for this power structure, and now we'll be navigating through the intended sort of mechanics of this, such as...
Well, the mushrooms coming up here. So the mushrooms are a mechanic where you can kind of build your own path in a way. So they're kind of different for how you would normally navigate on a regular like platform or flooring of the game. But you're going to see here in a moment, you can build your own path and kind of avoid walls. It's really cool. Mm-hmm. I also love these particular straightaway sections coming up that you're going to see here. They're very satisfying to watch.
It's going to be chaining momentum here in a
so
very
cool.
particular way. Very, very good. Very
nice.
good. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, just a slight optimization.
Cinema. Yeah. So cool. It's so good.
This section's incredible because normally you're intended to rotate this hook around in order to, in a timed section, make it there and back and there and back. Instead, he's using coyote time to initiate pole vaults, so he's like on the last couple frames off of the edge of these in order to make it back and forth, and raising it just enough to be able to make it to this hook here and up on top. Very good.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. So,
very good.
An interesting thing to note about these mushroom bridges here is that they dampen your ability to jump, which sounds like a disadvantage, but Pr0tal uses as much as he can out of them because the rollout mechanic is intended to be coming down from a jump, right? So if you're jumping and you're near enough to the floor and you initiate a rollout, you'll roll out, and that'll give you additional speed and it'll give you a higher jump. However, by initiating a jump on these mushroom bridges and then a couple frames later rolling out, because of the dampened jump, you fit the conditions without actually having to jump, such as in that condition there. So he's able to, in a very tight space, be able to pull off a rollout in order to gain additional speed and save the frames. So as he's maneuvering through here, this section, of course, this is a tower where you're supposed to rotate this in various chunks. We have double jump. This one in particular is very tight because he's going to have to make it onto a wall that it looks like you shouldn't be able to make it onto, but he does. Very good, very
nice.
very generous. And then around here, again, we haven't touched water yet.
Water bad.
Water bad. We hopefully won't touch water to demonstrate.
Good.
Very good, very good. Now, Bobby,
yes.
In practice, we kind of lied to you a little bit. We said that we had a trick and that we weren't able to implement it.
Right.
We actually did find a new optimization.
Great.
So every time we've shown Bobby this, we're navigating our way up these pipes here.
Oh,
you know what? Maybe I'll let it speak for itself here. It's a small little thing.
It's a small thing.
He's just going to jump into the void here. He's just going to double.
Let me double jump, please.
Double jump. Did you know there's an invisible lens there?
Wait, what? Sure, why not?
Yeah, you think this is a bit, we actually had this from Bobby, so shout out to
hilarious.
being a good sport about it. Anyways,
wow,
cool trick, first GDQ,
Very cool.
We're demonstrating it here, and now we're on our way out, again, without the companion, but we still have the speed.
That's awesome.
And so now we have the 4 lights, the 4 sculptures, and so we have access to the elevator, and we're going to be skipping the cutscenes that explain this, but essentially, we and our companion are going to make it onto this elevator, and we're going to make it to the outside, except the elevator is too derelict and it's going to collapse, and it's going to give us this intense collapsing sequence where we have to go out, grab a battery, and the elevator collapses a little bit more. And we have to go out to another section, collect a battery, and it collapses a little bit more, and the trigger goes down and down and down. Instead, we are going to maneuver our way to the 3rd section directly and come back. And this is not trivial for so many reasons. So first of all, he has to fall down here on this ledge, which is not generous.
Also enjoy the music, by the way.
Enjoy the music. And now we've initiated the 3rd section here. And it's not trivial from here. Because, well, first of all, here's a quick speed boost that we can get here. As we are initiating a pole vault off of a rotating object, we can actually maintain that speed like so. Whee! And keep that speed going. Very nice. The hard part starts here. Normally you're intended to jump off and take your way down this slide, and you hit a trigger, and that's it. The elevator is in the first position and not the third position. So the trigger is up here. So we have to abuse chain mechanics to make it on top of this pipe. We have to stay on top of this invisible wall. We're going to mantle on this pipe that is definitely not intended to mantle off of. Do a rollout up a slope, so you have to go out and then back in, and then finally initiate a double jump that threads through this particular hole.
That's good.
He's done it!
Let's go!
Try!
Very nice.
Oh my gosh.
Incredibly different.
Time's going to be coming up soon.
Time will be coming up soon.
None of that is intentional. You should not be walking out any of those places, really, ever.
We're meant to bring our companion out to the outdoors, except bringing the companion is slow because they are damaged and limping. So instead, we're just gonna go ourselves. The end trigger here, which by the way, shout outs to Charlie for giving us a little bit of an Easter egg for not bringing our companion. Shout outs to the nosy backup, by the way, down here.
Yeah,
very nice.
The time will end when we hit this trigger over here and our little character does a sit, just viewing the sunset alone, unfortunately.
Right here, and
time.
Oh my gosh. I'm very surprised I got that last trick as quick as I did.
1953, sub 20.
I love that.
Sub 20. I will take sub 20 any
I love
day.
that the cutscenes are different depending on if you're speedrunning it or not.
Yeah.
Huge shout outs to Charlie Wagner, of course, for making such an amazing game. This game is really so fun. It has some of the best movement, and it's such a simple mechanic. It's just the pole, but you can do so much with it, and it's really just so fun. So I recommend everyone play this game. Shout outs to all the people in the Hypogea Discord. Tons of great route finding. Shout out to Equinox for finding that huge sequence break at the end, and Nozu for all the crazy out of bounds clips that he's found. Thank you, commentators. You want to say anything?
You got shout outs, Gelly?
Wow, you got to shout out the first place current competitor.
That's true, Kali.
Yeah, who has pushed P0tal past reasonable limits.
I am in
So
second
good.
place, unfortunately.
Shout outs to Jafra, who has worked on this game in a modding capacity so that we can do better practice. Shout outs to Utsuru, she's been our French runner, our resident French runner. And shout out to Verse, who made a trick that we will not be doing in this run. But many shout outs for the work that they did. And shout outs to everyone else. And
I would also say you got to see next to none of the puzzles in this game as they are intended. If you enjoy games that look like a love letter to PlayStation era kind of games, please go buy this game and try it out for yourself. I fell in love with it the first time I played with it. Please go give it a shot yourself. So thank you so much for having us.
Support an indie dev, yes.
Yes, and appreciate you having us, and thanks for watching. P0tal, back over to you. Anything else you wanted to add?
Thank you, Games Done Quick, for having me and for having this game.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.